August 21st, regular meeting. Time is 3:30. Mr. Clerk, roll call, please.
Dominic Johnson.
Present.
Lynn.
Present.
Bowman.
Present.
Cassidy. Thibodeau. Fox.
We would ask that
You're here.
Commissioner Baker, if you'll say the invocation, and parliamentarian, if you'll say the Pledge of Allegiance, I appreciate it. Ready?
Please stand for the prayer.
Please pray for our hop-along commissioner, too. We need some prayer. Love it.
I got to love it.
Yeah.
Heavenly Father, in Jesus' name, we thank you, Lord, for another day and another opportunity to come and make decisions for your people. We pray and ask that you would touch our hearts and our minds and help us to do the right thing for your people, Lord. Lord, we also pray and ask that you would continue to bless us and be with us and keep us on one accord. And we send out a special blessing for Commissioner Matthew Lynn, Father God, and we pray that your healing hand would be upon him. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen. 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 Everyone, please face our flag and say the Pledge of Allegiance along with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Justice for all. My fault.
There you go, Tony. We'd like to welcome everybody here today. First of all, I'd like to say thank you for State Representative Patrick Williams is here. Thank you for being here today. We also have a list of constables and justices of the peace. I'm afraid I won't miss somebody's name. I'd just like to thank y'all for being here today. We're going to let y'all speak in the comment period. I know y'all are here to speak at the comment period, so we'll get to that in just a minute. Next item.
Next we have agenda additions.
Commissioner Lynch. Agenda addition?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm going to make a motion to expand the agenda.
To expand and add.
To add Resolution 32 of 2014, which is a resolution authorizing the organization of the Northwest Louisiana Council of Governments as a Louisiana nonprofit corporation and filing articles of incorporation with the Office of the Secretary for the state of Louisiana.
Do we have any? We got a motion, a second. I have a motion by Commissioner Lynn, a second by Commissioner Williams. Before we vote, do I have anybody who wishes to speak in favor or against this resolution before we add it and expand our agenda? Okay, no. Declare the public hearing closed. Pursuant to Louisiana law, we'll ask to vote to expand and add this to the agenda. Please vote. Okay, that passes 11-0. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Next we move to citizen comments.
Okay, citizens who wish to address the commission on any issue other than zoning need to fill out a comment card located in the chamber foyer and return it to myself or the clerk of the commission. The individual comments are limited to 3 minutes and a cumulative total of 15 minutes for any one item. And I know we have several constables and justices of peace here, so we're going to start with you guys. My first one is Jeff Roach. If anybody else needs to fill out a comment card, please do it. They're in the foyer. Bring it to myself, or you can give it to Todd Hopkins, our clerk. Mr. Roach, how you doing?
Great, how are you?
Can you give us your name and address, and then we'll proceed. You got 3 minutes.
Sure,
okay?
sure. My name is Jeff Roach. I live at 7201 Joe May Lane in Shreveport, 71119.
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm a Shreveport native. I've raised a family in Shreveport. I'm a local business owner. I'm a fully commissioned post-fire certified Caddo Parish Deputy Constable in Ward 8. I'm also a candidate for Caddo Parish Constable for Ward 5. I currently serve as Deputy Constable in Ward 8 under Constable Eric Hatfield. I've seen firsthand the impact that involved constable can have on a community. The service and benefits that the Ward 8 residents receive is not the status quo. But if we truly want to serve our community, should we settle for the status quo? Is that what our service consists of? Is that what our constituents deserve? After being a part of a progressive service in Ward 8 and seeing the enormous impact that we can have on a community, I chose to seek that same level of service in my resident area, Ward 5, and run for Caddo Parish Constable. I've invested a significant amount of money, devoted an enormous amount of time to this campaign. Not being a politician, this is a new endeavor for me and my family. And the constable position comes with hardly no financial benefit. In fact, I plan on spending and investing a lot more money than I'll make in the position, so I'm not doing it for the money, as is with all the constables that are here today. I've chosen to run for this office to serve my fellow man. This is a next level of service for me, and a service opportunity that has a huge need in Ward 5. For my Caddo Commissioner, Ken Epperson, who I'm sad to see is not present today, seek the elimination of something that I so strongly believe is very vital to our citizens, simply cannot go without a robust stand against the efforts. As a District 12 resident, I have not seen, heard from, benefited from, or even know anyone that has ever seen our current Ward 5 constable. This, I believe, is a root cause, or at least a platform, for Mr. Epperson's recent actions. While I understand there is reason for discussion of the current performance, I cannot imagine anything that would warrant the discussion of eliminating the office entirely. This type of knee-jerk reaction does not serve the needs of Caddo Parish people. In fact, this effort is so baseless in its origin that the undercurrent of ulterior motives cannot be dismissed. As a District 12 resident, this reaction also leads me to the question of the judgment and motives surrounding other issues brought before this commissioner. As a result of the accumulation of Mr. Epperson's recent efforts to call for the elimination of such a vital and important service to the citizens of Caddo Parish, along with the questionable judgment surrounding these efforts, I feel only the real course of action to take is for Mr. Epperson to recant his comments and offer his full and public support for the constables and justice of the peace offices. We can then begin to work together to make a difference. Anything short of a full and public show of support would incline me, as a resident of District 12, to call for the resignation of Ken Epperson as Caddo Parish Commissioner for District 12. We need parish officials that have the heart of the people as their first priority. Elected the Caddo Parish Constable of Ward 5, I will commit to a high level of service to the people that will be visible and evident throughout the ward and parish, and would eliminate these efforts from even coming before the commission. Thank you very much.
Okay. I would just like to remind that this is a comment period, so we can't ask or answer any questions, but I would encourage you to actually talk to Commissioner Epperson. I've known him to be a person that would take your phone calls, and I'm sure he would like to talk to you. I think you need to contact him. And number two, just would say that the Property Standards Committee did meet, and we will have a resolution to just recommend to the Supreme Court to do a study to look at reducing, it's not to eliminate, is to reduce the number of constables and justice of the peace. That will be at our next workshop. I don't know the exact date, and then the following Thursday. So,
And for the record, we have reached out to Mr. Epperson.
okay. All right. Thank you. Thank you for coming today. This is a public comment period. Eric Hatfield is our next constable. Eric Hatfield.
Constable Eric Hatfield, 10040 Loveland Court, Shreveport, Louisiana. And I'm here kind of for the same reason that Mr. Roach and many of the other individuals are here today. I'm not going to read a long statement or anything and take any more of your time, or too much of your time, because I think Deputy Roach did that. Like I said the other day, I appreciate each and every individual Caddo Parish Commissioner and staff that's here today. In fact, each and every one of you have bent over backwards to work with me in my office since day one, and so I appreciate it. There is one individual that's not here, and that's Commissioner Epperson. I have tried to call him. I've left a voicemail for him. I've even left him a text message, and the reason for my contacting him and my reason for any grievance that I may have is not with the commission, is for one commissioner and the statements that he made to the media advising that he wished to do away with all constables. It's my belief that if you have a problem with any one entity or any entity or any one individual, then you take that grievance up and your complaint with that individual. You don't punish you don't punish all the constables. It'd be the same, and say that you're going to do away with them. It'd be the same thing as if I were to say I had a problem with a city councilman, and then I go to the media and say, listen, I want to do away with the entire city council. Well, that's not possible, and that's not a viable solution. So, like I said the other day, I think we all need to just work together. I appreciate the continued support that I get from every single one of you, and I hope that continues, and I hope that Mr. Epperson will reach out to us that have tried to contact him and try to resolve this matter before it gets any worse or hurts any other constables or JPs or tarnishes their reputation. I thank you for your time.
Eric, thank you for coming here today. Appreciate it. Keith Rutherford, Constable Keith Rutherford.
How you doing, Keith?
Good. I'm Keith Rutherford.
I'm a 1301 Ockley. I'm the business owner of Eagle Truck Center and also a deputy constable under Constable Hatfield. I won't take up any of your time. I just wanted to express my support for the constable's office. I think Caddo Parish needs that for security and safety. I have a lot of problems with my business and problems around the area, so I don't think it's a viable thing to get rid of the constable's office. Thank you for your time and appreciate you taking the time to listen to me.
Thank you. And Justice of the Peace Judge Greg Taylor.
Speaking judge.
He is the Justice of the Peace. He's the judge.
Justice. She run for that? No, they'll be waiting. That's all I want to do.
How you doing, Judge Taylor? Nice seeing you. If you can give us your name and address.
It's good to be seen. My name's Greg Taylor. My address is 5057 Dixie Garden Drive, Shreveport 71105, and I'm the Justice of the Peace for Ward 8. I too had a letter written up addressed to Mr. Epperson, but since he's not here, I'm still going to read part of it. 3 to 4 years ago, Caddo Parish Commission asked all JPs and constables to come to a meeting. At the meeting, we discussed property standards. Several JPs, including myself, had questions and issues concerning the judgments rendered and if the Sheriff's Department would honor and follow our judgment. The late Gene Nichols said that he was told by a deputy sheriff that the Sheriff's Department would not recognize any court order from a JP. We were told by a commissioner that they would check into this and let us know at the next meeting. The parish ordinance is a good ordinance, well written, but there are a lot of issues and suggestions that some of us have, me in particular. We were told by this commission, that we were going to start having quarterly reports, quarterly meetings with JPs and constables, or a place for us to bring our grievances, our questions, and for y'all to see what we were doing. That was 4 years ago. I haven't heard anything from anybody since that meeting about how are you doing, how come you're not doing this? And then all of a sudden we see Mr. Epperson on TV degrading all JPs and constables. I personally think Mr. Epperson owes myself and Eric Hatfield an apology. And speaking strictly for myself, I have spent over $10,000 building an office. I don't want people in my house. I built an office that I handle nothing but JP out of. And I take my job very serious, and I plan to continue to do so. Instead of condemning all the JPs and constables, I don't think you can blame it all on us. I do my part. We're not allowed to drive around in the parish and look for property standards violations and then call Eric and say, go write them up. It's very unethical for a JP to do that, so I don't really know how JP's got involved in all this. But I too thought that Mr. Epperson should either at least give me and Eric Hatfield an apology or resign himself. And that was my last 16 seconds. That's it. Thank you.
Hey, JP, you doing weddings after this? Because I may need you.
Come on down. I'm on Dixie Garden.
There ain't a woman alive gonna marry you.
Michael doesn't want to get married again. He just can't.
I tell you what, Judge Taylor, you can marry him, and then he can come by me, and about two months later, I'll give him divorce.
You're right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is Robert Barr here? How you doing, Robert? I didn't know if you're not a constable. You're just a constituent, right?
I'm a citizen.
Okay, go ahead. Give us your
Ward
name and
8,
address.
District 9. I'm Robert Barr, 8028 Captain Dillon Court, Shreveport, 71115. And I'm here simply to support the constables and the justice of peace. Fortunately, I have not had a reason to use them. I didn't get married at midnight by shotgun or anything. So I just came by. I took off work today.
Okay, hang on. Go Go ahead, I'm sorry.
I just simply took off work to come down here in support of them because of things that they've done for me as a personal level in our neighborhood and things close to us. So I just came down here to give them their support that they need. Thank you.
Very good.
Patrick Williams. I don't think is that you? Is that you?
That's the mayor.
Is there any other? Any other? That's a William. The picked up for the council.
Patrick Williams, 3200 Old Mooresburg Road, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71107. That'd be me, sir. That must be the Williams seat, because I remember when I was in here, I sat there as well.
That's why it's hot.
That's why it's hot, very hot. Well, guys, I just want
I want you to know, though.
We got more out of it then than now.
No comment.
Y'all out of order.
Yes, sir.
But it's just of the peace. See, we need you.
But guys, again, I'm Patrick Williams, state representative. I'm also a candidate for the next mayor of Shreveport. But I just wanted to come and stand in support of the JPs and the constables. I think they provide a very valuable service, and that's all I wanted to say. Just let you know that I'm in support of them. All right, thank you for your service.
Thank you,
Patrick,
Mr.
thank you for coming today. Reggie.
My wannabe brother.
Reggie Greening.
Reggie Greening, 9003 Hayden Drive, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71106, and I'm in District 9 and Ward 8. Eric Hatfield is my constable, and he has done our neighborhood and our ward a great service and has helped everyone that has needed his help. And all the other JPs and constables, I support 100%. And it's a shame that somebody would talk about them and just, you know, it's just a shame to me as a citizen. And I support them 100%, and that's basically when I wanted to come down, take off from work, and say how much I supported the constables and JPs. So I hope y'all all understand that. Thanks.
Thank you.
Have a great day. Thank you.
If anybody else wants to speak, you need to fill out a comment card. Do you have your comment card, Dan? Before I get to Dan, I think we're through with all the JPs and constables, and I would like to say one thing. Constable Dale Nix Sr., can you stand up, sir? Constable Nix told me yesterday that he's not going to be running. Is that correct? Anyway, he has been serving. Come on, Mr. Nix, can you come up here, sir?
We won't let him quit. He's too good.
As that wisdom, he could do training. Maybe I'd be a
I
constable.
know he's here to show his support, but I just wanted to tell you publicly, thank you for all the support that you've done. I know that you've been a constable in my area around the morning sport, I don't know how many years, but
38.
38 years.
Wow.
And I think we owe you a round of support. I will also say this is the man that if you have litter, that he will actually find the litter bags and would go through the litter bags and find the envelopes and go out and issue citations. He has worked hard to keep our area clean and has done an outstanding job as a constable as far as serving citation and judgments and those things. We're going to truly miss you, Mr. Nix, and I have to call you Mr. Nix. I know your son, he's Dale, but you're Mr. Nix, okay?
Thank you. May I say this?
Sure, you can.
Hey, the election time's coming up. Everybody that's running, watch your signs, because they're illegal on the road right away.
Hold on. Wait a minute. What district does he work in?
There's your district.
That's my district. Came here to thank you.
About Mr. Epperson,
I just
please.
have one question
I think-
since Doug brought you up here. 38 years. How much money has it cost you to be a constable?
Just round
I have no idea.
I just want people to know that you've gone the whole probably every year, hadn't you?
I always try to drive me a good car. I have a marked car. I have radar. I have a siren. I have.
That you all pay for yourself?
Yes, sir.
You ought to run for higher office because you're good at dodging the question. You're not going to tell me how much money you lost every year.
Paid for by myself.
I understand. Thank you.
But I think Mr. Epperson owes the constables an apology. Mr. Epson needs to visit the outer part of the parish, see what the constable does do. Never a day goes by that I don't stop someone, warn them, or have somebody come and pick up a bag of garbage. I work at it continuously. So you know, he don't know what he's talking about.
Well, only thing I would say in his defense in our meetings, he never said anything about eliminating the whole constables and justice piece. He was in favor of the study that we'll be recommending. So we'll just keep on working and working hard. So thank you so much. Okay.
Y'all just remember me when I drive. Remember me now. All of us don't look alike.
There you go.
Oh, my,
Come on now.
You started it.
Next one is, I still have, I'm missing one. April King. I did. April King.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Can you give us your name and address, please?
April King, 8700 Millicent Way, apartment 705, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71115. I'm here this evening on behalf of the Cedar Grove CDC and the Children of Faith Summer Camp. We wanted to thank the Caddo Parish Commission for their financial support of our camp this summer. We have a plaque in recognition of your support of the Cedar Grove Community Development Corporation Summer Learning Program 2014 that we would like to present to you. And the funds went to help with staffing and supplies and other materials for the campers. We had a great time, and we just wanted to say thank you. We honored Miss Lindora Baker at a separate time, and we wanted to present this all to you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Break me off a piece of that.
You gonna make a photo opportunity? Huh? Break me off.
Break me off.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You go jump over when she jumps.
Okay, Lavette Fuller. Hey, Ms. Fuller, how you doing?
Great, how are you? Lavette Fuller, 615 Rutherford Street, 71104, Shreveport, Louisiana. I would like to thank the Caddo Parish Commission for taking the time to reconsider my resume and letter of interest in regards to the open seat on the Metropolitan Planning Commission Board. Prior to my November submission, I immersed myself in available information about the 2030 Master Plan and the impending Unified Development Code, which I believe will strengthen the theoretical foundation for our infrastructure. I have attended community interest meetings for both the Master Plan and the Unified Development Code and found those meetings to be impactful and engaging for a community that I believe in, a community with much potential. In the past decade, Caddo Parish saw growth of less than 1%. If we want to have growth in this community, we have to be able to attract people and business to our area. I believe we can thrive if we continue to take steps to attract families that will build this community. To do that, we must create fertile ground for established industry as well as entrepreneurs. This means continuing to build a strong infrastructure with room for future growth while holding on to the pieces of history that are vital to our cultural identity. Planning is the first step. We have a unique opportunity to affect positive change in this community with a new progressive executive director, new leadership, and a fresh perspective for the first time in nearly 30 years. We can't stop there. You have the opportunity to show this community that we care about the future and our potential for growth. Without innovation and creativity, potential is ripe fruit dying on the vine. According to the 2010 census data, 32.3% of Caddo Parish citizens are between the ages of 25 and 49. 32% of our population is over 50. I applaud the Caddo Parish Commission and Shreveport City Council, both, for dedication to proportionate representation based on culture. I hope you will consider taking steps toward proportionate representation based on age. Thank you again for your time and consideration.
Thank you. Dan Keel, or it says Daniel R. Keel. How's that?
Whichever, as long as you call me for dinner. I was here Monday, and I missed Commissioner Lynn. She had invited me to come speak with y'all. I understood
Dan, give us your name and
completely.
address first, please.
1036 Texas, 71101, Shreveport.
Go ahead.
I had understood the process that we've been working on. I've been a technical advisor to a committee that's been appointed by the commission, not actually a member of that committee, but a technical advisor to them. And we've been working on and prepared to submit some things to the committee, Animal Services Committee, regarding ordinances. We started delving into policy next because there are a lot of things that the public, members of the animal welfare community are communicating to us, and probably several of you are receiving some of those suggestions as well, including emails that I passed along. We had a little incident where one of the committee members started communicating with people at the shelter. Hopefully we're getting all that sorted out. I think Dr. Wilson is looking into that matter and some other matters, but I've been deluged by people on two basic camps. One is we want to help, we want to volunteer, we want to know if we can do this, this. And the other group is, why can't we do this, why can't we do this, why can't we do this, and why can't we do this? The second group has basically, in summary, told us that we're asking a linebacker to be a ballerina, that we can teach ballet to a linebacker, but we can't expect it to be pretty. So I don't know what we do to meld the two things, but there are a group of people who want to volunteer, who want to interface with the existing director and the staff and find that open communication that we can perhaps get past this past incident and actually, have brainstorms about some of the ideas that people have. As you know, animal welfare people aren't going to sit quietly by. They feel it's very important to them to advocate for the animals. We believe that the commission members, almost to a man and woman, are cognizant of the issues and that you do care. That isn't something that you're blind to or numb to. And we also understand that in this form of government, most of this responsibility goes to Dr. Wilson, that he's the day-to-day administrator. He appreciates that. So we're going to make some suggestions in the next week or so to open up some dialogue and some communication, try to get down to specifics and see if we can get some of those ideas back and forth. And we're not trying to force a log jam. We're trying to break one up and open things up. I can't say who all I speak for. Some of them don't want to. They're afraid that they'll be penalized and their relationships will change. Some of them have just given up. But I think we need to reach out to the people who want to volunteer, who want to make the partnership with the government work to make it better for the animals, for the community, lower cost, to get more animals out of the shelter and into homes. And I may have sent to you, I don't know if I did or not, but last week, Dallas County, Texas, opened up their shelters and emptied them to adoptive homes. It took a tremendous amount of participation from the community, and we do know that this is a community problem, but to simply discharge it as a community problem without interfacing with the community to solve the problem is not going to get us anywhere. But I appreciate y'all very much, and I know that everyone's working very hard on it.
Dan, thank you for coming. Thank you for your comments today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Charlotte Ballard. Ms. Ballard, how are you doing?
Good, thank
Can you give us your name and address? You have 3 minutes.
My name and what?
Your name and address?
Oh, Charlotte Ballard, 6339 Timberman Place, Shreveport 71119.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. I was going to say that, if you notice, there's no 501c3 rescues here doing anything. They're afraid to go because they're afraid they won't be able to get animals out of the pound rather. And not only that, if they were to speak up, they wouldn't. They're also afraid they will be, somebody go to their house and harm their dogs or their things. So none of them speak up because they're afraid they won't, get anything out. But I was going to tell you a story that happened to me with the pound a few years back. My neighbor got mad because I had brought 2 more dogs home, and she had told me, that she wasn't going to let me have 2 more dogs. Although I keep them in the house, bad weather at night, cold weather, hot weather. Well, anyway, she called the cops on me, the pound, and the city council. Well, I went through a year of hell trying to, the pound would sit back in the road and listen to see when the dogs bark. Well, they couldn't get anything. Well, then they said the smell, and although I picked the stuff up and throw it away in a, proper place, and then finally, they could just started lying and say I let them run down the road, this and that. Well, the pound would come out, and they finally just gave me a citation. He couldn't think of anything. He gave me a citation for having dogs in the front yard, in a fenced front yard. So I took it to a lawyer, and they said, this is not valid. They can't do this. This doesn't, and so it was thrown out. Well, anyway, I had went up to the pound months later to because I was doing transports, and that same officer said, I'm sorry I did that. He said, I couldn't think of nothing to get you on, so I had to make up something. He gave me a citation, he had to make it up. And that's the stuff we're having to deal with over there. So I just wanted to, this is stuff going on that y'all don't know about behind the scenes.
How long, when was that anyway?
It's about a few years back. But he come out and admitted that.
It's been a few years. We're just trying to figure out if this was before, Director Harris has only been there 2 or 3 years. I don't know if it was before him or after him. Do you know?
I think he had just come on at that time, but I'm not positive.
Of course, he has tried to make a lot of changes, so
yeah.
hopefully those changes are being made for the better.
Okay.
If you have a complaint, please, you can always put it in writing, send it to Dr. Wilson, and it'll be looked at, okay? All right, next item, Mr. Clerk.
Next we move.
Thank you for coming today, man.
Next we move to visitor, Miss Kristen Powers, Robinson's Rescue.
Is Miss Powers here? How y'all doing today?
Good afternoon. Thank y'all so much. I'm Dr. Andrea Master Everson, and we
ma'am.
really appreciate y'all just your continued support on our mission to spay neuter more and more pets in Caddo Parish. And it is impressive. Our joint commitment has really caused some amazing effects. And one of the things is we've almost done 30,000 spay neuter surgeries. And let's remember, dogs and cats love to reproduce. So cats can have 3 to 4 litters a year with 8 to 10 kittens per litter. Dogs can have 2 to 3 litters a year with an average of 5 to 6 puppies per litter. So that's a lot of animals. So we're on the prevention side of things. We're here to spay neuter and make it the easiest, most effective method to prevent the intake of animals in our parish. So we really appreciate the support for the years. I've been with Robinson's Rescue since the start. I'm the veterinarian, I'm the president. These hands do all of those surgeries. And I love it because we have a goal and we have a mission. Over the years, we have built our team together, and I'm doing 30 to 35 surgeries a day, but we need more awareness in the community. We needed more outreach in the community. We need to get to the people where I work, 12 hours a day. There's no way I can bring an animal to your shelter. I don't even know what spay neuter is. There's several citizens that are at that level. So I saw a need for an outreach arm, and last year I was very fortunate to attend a national training session by the National Humane Society, and we trained on a Pets for Life approach, and I saw that was really needed in our community. It's a very community-targeted spay-neuter focus. I, at that point, decided to write another grant to partner our funding with, so we joined PetSmart Charities in this process. So we're on a national level here. We're having other grants from PetSmart Charities, ASPCA, to help us build this mission. So at that point, we were awarded for this year a PetSmart Charities grant for Caddo Heights, and it is a targeted outreach plan, and we have started that, and I want to update y'all on how successful it's been. And Ms. Kristen Powers has joined our team, and she's our Director of Development and Outreach, and she's really getting volunteers and staff members out in the community. So thank y'all so much for your continued support, and here's Kristen.
Thank you, Dr. Everson. As she said, my name is Kristen Gary Powers. I am the Director of Development at Robinson's Rescue, and I wanted to just give you guys an update today on some exciting developments in a very targeted area that we are focusing on within our parish. And I want to thank Commissioner Lindora Baker for inviting me here today and giving me the time on the agenda. Thank you very much, Ms. Baker. And thank you to Commissioner Bowman as well for being supportive of the animal community and of our the services that we provide as well as the rest of the commission. Again, this is just a fun update. I wanted you to really see the impact that what you guys have supported all these years is doing in our community. So, oh, is it gonna mess up?
Who is this?
Okay, so if you look at this guy, what kind of dog do you think he might have?
Poodle.
A poodle. Chihuahua.
Chihuahua, yeah.
And Ray Ray.
Probably not a
He's
Shih
got a Shih
Tzu.
Tzu.
That's probably not what you're gonna think of, right? Well, part of this Pets for Life effort is about not judging people by the cover of the book, basically. And so it's about really getting to know them and working with them regularly. And it's not just a, hey, we have a free spay-neuter program, come get your dog spayed or neutered and we're moving on to the next person. No, we're going to talk to them, we're going to educate them, we're going to really interact with them. So this is one of the guys that was at the event I'm about to tell you about. On July 19th, we had what we called a Summer Fun Fest barbecue and free rabies clinic. We held this event in Hattie Perry Park and invited everyone from the Caddo Heights area to attend. We gave out free rabies shots and also distributed spay and neuter vouchers to those residents, all in the effort of getting to know them and helping them understand that Robinson's Rescue exists in our community. And as Andrea said, I think it's really exciting to hear to know that PetSmart Charities is supporting an effort that you guys have supported for many, many years. They have given us enough funds to cover surgeries and rabies vaccines for 240 dogs belonging to residents of Caddo Heights only. This is a very special program just for those people. We chose this area based on the statistics and the high intake level that we're seeing from that neighborhood. And this event that we held in Hattie Perry Park really served as a cornerstone to spearhead us into the effort that we're going to be carrying out for the next several months. We're going to be focusing on spay and neuter in Caddo Heights because the idea is if we target a geographic area that we will really see the impact of this spay neuter and we can measure that and bring you guys a report of that later. We got Eddie's Restaurant involved. Thank you, Commissioner Bowman, for making that contact for us. And they provided some barbecue or some hot dogs and things for us, and everybody really enjoyed it. We had a bounce house out there for the kids. Thank you, Commissioner Lynn, for coming in and trying to help with that situation. But anyway, it was one of the first times some of those kids had ever gotten to play in a bounce house. So it was really valuable to the community beyond just the animal aspect. At that event, we gave away 145 rabies vaccinations and made appointments for free for 36 spay and neuters. And a lot of those have been coming to the clinic every week. We have every Thursday is our day for these animals. And we actually have some in the clinic today that Andrea did surgery on, and they are recovering right now. So the results are visible. We can touch and feel them. Our partners in this effort were, of course, PetSmart Charities, who provided the grant. Hattie Perry Park was provided by SPAR, and the people there, Crystal Anderson at Hattie Perry and Mr. Sherman Allen, he is amazing. They were wonderful, wonderful people. They actually went door to door with us, passing out these flyers, and every door we went to, they knew Crystal. She was really a community liaison for us, and I'm hoping to capitalize on that in the future and as I get to know her better and work with her on this effort. So we had Hattie Perry Park involved. The rabies clinic was supported by Shreveport-Bossier Animal Rescue and Louisiana Dog Rescue, and also Wise Choice Animal Hospital donated the tags for us. So we tried to do this as low cost as possible. Let's see. And of course, we were able to, through this event, not only promote the Caddo Heights opportunity, but for those people that came in, we had people coming from Oil City to this event. For those people who came in from other surrounding areas, we were able to say, well, this one doesn't qualify, you're not qualified for this, but if you are low income, we can qualify you for the SNP program thanks to Caddo Parish. So it was an outreach effort that extended beyond just the PetSmart Caddo Heights program. The crew of Barkus and Meow really came to bat for us. They provided over 20 volunteers of the 30 that were there, and we really appreciated their assistance. The Pets for Life model that you heard Dr. Everson mention is a really powerful model. It's actually, she mentioned going to training, and she came back with this big heavy book of all of this information. It's built for us. So we're working smart. And we're working hard too, but we're working smart. And it's all here for us to access. So we're not having to invent the wheel. We're just having to drive the car. So So this model really, the kind of the statement of the model is, by improving the relationship between a person and his or her pet, you help to improve the quality of life for both, thus increasing the chances of the pet staying in that home permanently. And I want to point out, thus increasing the chances of the pet staying in that home permanently. That means they're not going into the shelter. That means they're improving the quality of life of the person in the home. It's improving the quality of life for the entire neighborhood if we can just get their animal the services they need. And again, a little quote from Mother Teresa: if you judge people, then you have no time to love them.
Amen. I heard that.
This is our targeted area. You can't see it very good on the screen, but that blue line is kind of our outline of Caddo Heights. That's the geographic area that we are targeting and looking to have the most impact on. This program is very follow-up oriented. So if someone from this neighborhood comes and has their pet spayed or neutered or sets an appointment for that, we're calling them, we're navigating them through that process. We're holding their hand through the whole thing so that they don't feel like we're leaving them out in the cold. Sometimes people don't understand exactly how this process works, and we want to make sure that they are comfortable trusting us with their pet. I had a girl whose little poodle is at our clinic right now called me yesterday, or I called her yesterday to tell her, remind her of the appointment and tell her we were going to transport her animal. And she was telling me what kind of food she eats and all the special things about her and how to handle her. And you could just tell she loved this animal so much. And to have something that she loves so much, the dog had never been out of her sight. She had never left the animal or taken the animal anywhere else other than the home without her there. So for her to trust us to put this animal on a van and bring it to a medical facility where it was going to have surgery, stay overnight, and then trust us to get it back to her, it was a huge relationship that needed to be there for that to happen. So that's all happening in Caddo Heights right there. This was our awesome team of volunteers that came out in force to help us out that day. This was the line that formed. We actually had people there. I got there to set up all the tents and everything about 7:30 that morning, and there were already people there with their dogs ready to receive the services that we were offering. Actually, one of them helped volunteer, and she ended up getting a t-shirt. I just was like, here, put this on if you're going to be doing all this. So anyway, we had a great turnout. We were very pleased with the response we got from the community. Again, this is the line at the check-in table. Kind of want to give you guys a feel for how successful this event was. We went out into the line and checked people in. Instead of making them all come to the table, we want to make this easy as possible. More volunteers. I want to point out the lady in the red scarf. Her name is Miss Cynthia Carter. I actually met her at a niche meeting, the neighborhood association in Caddo Heights, and she signed her name on the paper that said she wanted to volunteer for us. And she showed up that day and she helped us out, and I thought that was really powerful to see someone from her own community wanting to support something that maybe she didn't completely understand, but she wanted to be there. If it was benefiting her community, she wanted to be there. So Ms. Cynthia Carter was our angel that day. From the check-in table, they moved over to the spay and neuter appointment setting table, and they were able to give their, all they had to do was show proof that they live in that neighborhood. No proof of income, no nothing like that, just show the proof that they live there. And we gave them a voucher and set their appointment that day. These are some of our wonderful volunteers that were working that table. These two ladies also work in our clinic. So the fact that they work in our clinic one day a week and then also came out to the event was really, really special. And then the rabies clinic table, they checked in, they all got rabies tags, they all got registered rabies certificates that day. This is some of our staff from Robinson's Rescue examining the dog before they gave him a rabies shot. This is Dr. Everson listening to a dog before the rabies shot was given.
A pit bull.
This lady was really special. When we were going door to door that week before this event, we ran into her and her niece. And in the yard, she didn't have this dog with her that day, but we were at her niece's house and she had a gazillion cats in the yard. One of the cats was so big and pregnant. It was, Andrea, there wasn't anybody there that day, at that moment, but she stalked that house and made sure that when that lady, they drove up in a van, and as soon as they got out of the van, she was like, hey, I want to talk to you about your cats. And she didn't go into, you needed to have that pet spayed. It wasn't like that. It's more of a relationship building thing where she's just talking to her like about how many cats she has, and not in a negative way, in a positive, let us help you care for these animals. And then it was really rewarding to see her come to the clinic to have her dog vaccinated, and it gave us another opportunity to touch her and say, let your niece know that we're there for her when she's ready to have those cats spayed or neutered. This family had 6 Rottweilers, 3 boys and 3 girls, and so many that they had to leave some in the car, and we had people there that day to help transport them back and forth from their car, and they were really grateful for our assistance that day. This fella, as he's holding a dog there, sometimes we would hold the dogs while they went and filled out the paperwork for the check-in. His name is Shaw Stokes, and he is a volunteer with us. He actually we had a really nice article on the front page of the Times when we first kicked off this effort about the PetSmart Charities grant, and he saw that article in the paper, walked into Robinson's Rescue, gave us a $500 check and said, I have a big white van, I can help you transport these animals. Because that's one of the biggest problems with the targeted areas that we're working in, is that they may want to get their dog spayed or neutered. They may be happy to have it done for free, but they can't get that animal to the clinic, and they may not especially be able to get it to the clinic at the times that we need them to. So Shaw is transporting these animals every Thursday. He's driving around Caddo Heights, and we have appointments set that he's going and picking up these dogs and bringing them to the clinic. They're treating them, and then they're being released the next day, and he's taking them back. So he's really been a key to this. He also helped us with the door-to-door, so the neighborhood's really getting to know Mr. Shaw. This is another Caddo Heights family that came and got their animal vaccinated that day. Okay, so next steps as part of this Pets for Life implementation that we're doing are going to be to continue to reach out through the churches and the after-school programs. Now that school's back in session, it should make my job a little bit easier in getting through to the parents and the children, helping to inform them of the resources that are available. And so I really appreciated Commissioner Lindora Baker for giving me some wonderful contacts, and I've called many of them and have appointments set to go out and visit with them with flyers and information. We're also going to look to identify key experts in the neighborhood that know the community and can work as community liaisons for us. We're also going to be doing door-to-door voucher distribution on a month, really more of a 2 times a month basis, and at least one Saturday and a weekday, if not 2 Saturdays a month. We're going to have a team of volunteers who are going to go door to door in the Caddo Heights neighborhood, again, getting to know these people, helping them understand that we're there to help them care for their animal and thus elevate their quality of life. Again, we're going to follow up with phone calls 24 hours after each visit and make sure that they know that it wasn't just a flyer drop-off. We really wanted to help them with their animal. Next, you're going to listen. Listening is really important, especially when we're working in a neighborhood that we may not understand. We've never worked in this type of neighborhood before in this way, and so we really need to understand what is it that may be a barrier for them. Is it a work schedule thing? Is it hard for them to get their animals to our clinic at 8 o'clock every whatever morning? Is it a fear that that animal might be harmed? Is it a misunderstanding of what the surgical process involves? We're going to understand that and craft our messages and craft our education in a way that talks to them. The main messages, though, are that it's free, the transport is available, and that it's a special program just for Caddo Heights. And then, again, if they say, but I've got this aunt or uncle who lives outside of this neighborhood, we can offer the SNP program to them. And then a second vaccination clinic and spay and neuter voucher distribution event in early December is our target for that. So I want to just leave you with a few thoughts so you can appreciate kind of the human-animal bond that if any of you have animals, you understand this, but if you don't, this is a good way for you to. If you would, I'm going to say a few statements that go along with these slides, and if you would just take a moment and think about these statements in your own mind. Just read this. As I read this, think this to yourselves. Just like me, she wants to have a comfortable bed to sleep in. Just like me, She just wants to be loved. Just like me, he wants to enjoy a happy and fulfilled life. Thank y'all very much for all your support and for starting and helping us grow what is to come for Robinson's Rescue and for our outreach efforts here in Caddo Parish.
Okay. Thank you for being here today.
Hold on.
Well, don't worry. Who's running this show?
There you go. Tell them again.
Ms. Powers, I have several commissioners that want to ask you some questions.
Certainly.
First on the board is Commissioner Thibodeau.
Yeah, I had a question for Dr. Everson. With the 30,000 spay and neuters that you've done over the years, why do you suppose our intake numbers have not decreased?
Because of those multiplications of how many litters and how many dogs and cats that are still, breeding.
But at what point, I mean, the whole purpose for spay and neuter is to reduce the number of animals available. So at what point, how many are going to have to be spayed and neutered in order to reduce those numbers?
As long as you're trying to spay and neuter the amount of the intake, and over the years, you'll see a gradual. I don't think there's an exact number. I mean, I wish I had that number. To me, if there's still animals on the side of the street and there's still animals that are not spay neutered, then there's still a reason to spay neuter.
It just seems
it's hard.
The numbers should have gone down by now.
Yeah, and it's hard. A lot of the economics too, in the last few years and everything, and other programs being in place too. I think there's, as far as spay neuter goes, we would love to have a two-vet team and be able to do, 60 to 70 surgeries. That'll multiply the other multiplications. Unfortunately, the animals just replicate and replicate. So, and like it says, doing this target outreach, I really think we'll get to see a difference in those intake numbers because we'll be able to measure it, area by area. Caddo Parish alone is a vast majority, rural and, inner city, and there's a lot of problems, everywhere. So last year we're still focused on the rural, but last year we did more of a rural outpush, where this year we're doing more of an inner city outpush, and just the team of outreach, if we can have more people on the ground doing the education, that part, and really helping, will help.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Bowman?
Thank you, Mr. President. Just want to thank both of you all, especially we've been in contact, and I know one of the things that I said when I met with you all was that I think a difference that would be made is once you get out in the community, and you all jumped on it, and I'm proud that you did. I hope this is not the last, and it's continuous, and after we leave Caddo Heights, the wonderful area, we can come over to Queensboro.
And that's the goal. This is just one target. Once we can grow as a team and really be able to focus this target outreach, this target spay neuter in Caddo Parish, I think we will see more of a change.
Yeah, and I will say, we obviously must have a lot of animals beyond what the eye can see, because regardless of intake numbers, and yes, the spay numbers, it should go down, also with a collaborative effort in partnership with yourself and the shelter, Caddo Parish Animal Shelter and Director. But the other thing is this: I've stayed and I've seen her an entire day do these operations, and so it's not that these numbers are made up or something, but I don't see how you and your staff were able to do, and I watched and I was a part of that, and I appreciate you inviting me to be a part, and I got to get back out there as well. But to see that for myself and to even see the process and how it was done was amazing to me.
We appreciate you coming by, and we really appreciate anyone who has any time to even come by for an hour just to see it, because that's why we do it. It's a lot of hard work. I have calluses on my hands. My feet have problems. It is a lot of hard work after the years, but the reason why we do it is to see change, and we really, do with all, all our partners want to see change.
Okay. Commissioner Lynn?
I guess to tag on to what my fellow commissioners just said, I guess if we had not funded Robinson Rescue and we had not done 30,000 spay and neuters a year, that the problem would be exponential, meaning that it would just be a multiplier, that there would be even more than what we have. And so we're looking for a break at some point, and we still hopefully will have one in the future. I guess the question that I have to ask is, so you were able to pull the intake forms of people bringing pets into Robinson Rescue and identify a neighborhood, in this case Caddo Heights, that there were animals on the loose that didn't have their rabies shots and were a threat to the citizens of Caddo Parish? And then you went there and offered rabies shots to those to protect the citizens of Caddo Parish?
Right, correct. So part of this grant had to do some mapping, and a lot of it's based on population and income based, and also just how close it is to our clinic too. And also I personally knew that Hattie Perry Park was a good central place, and I wanted to pick a base that was familiar and knew needed this assistance. So with PetSmart Charities, we looked at lots of different neighborhoods and intake numbers and everything like that, and we decided to use this. So the rabies aspect of it is to show a joint collaboration with everyone in the community, and knowing that rabies is present in Caddo Parish, and every animal needs to be vaccinated for it. So that is one thing that, if we can prevent a human from getting it, that's amazing. So it was kind of like just an addition to the spay, neuter, and entrance. A lot of people do know about rabies, but it might be comfortable with the rabies shot, but possibly not a spay, neuter. So it's a good way to meet and identify your households that have animals, and at least are proactive in getting the rabies shot.
Are you able to use that data that you collect at Robinson Rescue through your intake forms to apply for other grants that would serve the Caddo Parish citizens? And so we would be getting like a two for one kind of thing?
Definitely. So we've had ASPCA grants that hoped that's the whole point. I think is that we need more 2-for-1s, like you said. So yes, on a national level, we just got back from our conference, and ASPCA, HSUS, PetSmart Charities, everyone is aware of Caddo Parish, and for what we've been doing at Robinson's Rescue, they're very proud, and it's exciting at this time.
Thank you. Thank you for being a wise investment for all of the Caddo Parish citizens and serving every community. Thank you.
Thank y'all for your support.
Commissioner Williams?
I just got one thing to say.
Oh, God.
That pajamas he got on,
He's not sagging.
we don't serve people in
Early in
pajamas.
the morning.
Public dollars, okay? Become a constable, you can take care of it. But anyway, be as it may, enough been said. Oftentimes we hear about the negative thing that's going on with our animal shelter and your relationship. Apparently, you must have a good working relationship with our animal shelter and the director. I don't know if you have a contract with him. You must do. So the partnership that you have with the animal shelter and yours is doing a noble job with the resources you have. Seems to be it's a community problem, not an animal shelter problem. And your role is filling the void and the gap with education and information, not misinformation that's been put out. So let me just finish. To say, I just want to commend you for your outreach, because most of the community that you're reaching out to, a lot of people are unemployed, illiterate, can't read, don't have access to computers or watch TV or the radio. So for you to have a vision to go out and specifically target a particular community based on the zip code is wise. So I want to commend you, because we get a lot of undue criticism about our animal shelter. Last time I checked, all the meetings I've been with, we got one of the best animal shelters in the state of Louisiana, in America. We got one of the best directors, because most people don't keep that job 2 to 3 years. I think he's been there about 5 or 6. When I came on in 1990, we had the same kind of issues. And I think advocating for animals, we need to advocate to make sure they get good quality service. And I commend the advocate group, to ensure that animals are being treated. We all want fair treatment, not only just for animals, but for people too. Okay? So when you're out, make sure you tell them about the pet food pantry with the Northwest Louisiana Food Bank. That's right. Because a lot of people you see do not have food to provide for the animals. So the upkeep of the animals is not going to be great, because they can't provide for themselves because they're so poor. They live in poverty. And make sure you carry those flyers, and if you get the food, next time have the Norway Food Pantry with you. to identify those.
They have been at several of our events and our fundraising events and things like that. We definitely partner with them, and that was one of my brainstorming ideas. And when they wanted to start that, I was like, great, that's one thing, Robinson's Rescue, has a strong partnership with. So I think that's amazing.
One day at some point, get them up here to find out, get a report on how is it working? Because we together had a vision together, all of us, that people that are, just because you poor don't mean you treat animals bad.
Exactly.
Everybody needs to be held accountable.
It's the same human-animal bond. It's the same love. And it really, I'm very fortunate that obviously the surgery part is my key. The prevention, the spay-neuter is Robinson's Rescue's focus. And, we have a very strong team in place for that, and we're ready to partner and join forces to see change.
But I'm saying the community, the budget, the community support, because you said litters 12 and 8. A lot of families don't understand the cost and effect of having litters, those many litters in the community. Nobody wants to do what you have to do. You have a very morale job to do, because everybody can't do what you do. But that is part of the process all over America. That's what they do. You do it with dignity and you do it with respect. But hopefully one day we don't have to do that like we're doing that in that amount. So I think what you're doing, targeting those communities, educated. We rank number 49 in the nation in education. We can see why we have a lot of unformed, unlearned, ignorant, illiterate people that live in our community. So hopefully with what you're doing, it will penetrate and really be sustained and retained in the community about the service that you're providing for all our community. So I can't say enough about what I've seen, what I've heard. But don't let that boy wear them pajamas no more. He can't get We appreciate what you're doing, and keep up the good work, and keep up working with our director, because he gets a lot of, it's a thankless job that he does, and unfortunate. I really want to know what it's really all about, because what the reports we get, that I get, they all seem to be very positive, and to single him out to do that, I think is unfair, and associate him with Michael Vick like he a killer. He's not. He's a human being. He's a Christian man who served our country, the United States Army. He come back home, this is the way we treat him. That ain't right. He defending you where you can be safe on this soil. And the kind of emails I got, I think is so wrong. Not just what the emails I got, what I seen. That ain't right. Because sometimes you can't have your way. That's the way you treat people. I don't like that. I don't like it at all. If I defend him, I'll defend you too if you're right. I'm on the side of right and justice. All right? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Okay, you might want to come talk to Commissioner Lynn. I think he's got pajama bottoms on this.
He's not
No one
sagging.
can tell he has a suit and tie on. But
He come out the hospital, I let him slide.
yeah, okay, he's got a broken leg.
And I got my leg propped up. That's why I'm leaning back so much, because I don't want my toes to pop.
But Commissioner Williams, he's not sagging. So. Commissioner Lynn?
He's swagging though.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know that. Always.
Commissioner Lynch?
Okay. Look, if y'all find a little Shih Tzu that's potty trained and house trained, let me know. And then I wanted to, I know you all are focused on Caddo Heights right now, but the dogs in Moortown, I think they're coming out of Caddo Heights. So
Wait a minute.
Y'all run to the lakeside.
Come to Moortown and do that.
The idea behind all of this is, we have that Ebola incident recently in the news, and nobody wanted even one or two people in our country that had Ebola, right? Because they didn't want it to infect. Well, that's the idea behind this, is if you can eradicate it in one area, then you're making an impact and you can move to the next area. And just like countries, if you can eradicate polio or Ebola in one country, then you can move to the next country and eradicate it there. And so that's the idea, and you don't want, the animals are mating with those close by. They're not, they're going to the very next neighborhood maybe, but they're not going from Caddo Heights all the way up to Oil City. So, if you can focus on those areas and sterilize the animals in those areas, then you can really, really see the exponential impact. in that community. And that's what we're going for with this program, and we'll continue to push for that. Again, as well as continuing to offer the service with the spay neuter incentive program in the parish as a whole.
I wanted you all, this thing doesn't show these pictures, but I was somewhere and I saw this, and they were doing this outside a grocery store. Show that to Mr. Harris too, where they were doing.
That's what we looked at.
Yeah, are we doing that?
That's exactly what we were doing. We had tents lined up and we were providing services, and each tent we had a different service table for the people.
Oh, okay, okay. So anyway, I thought that was a good idea, but thank you. Thank you.
And Caddo Heights dogs not crossing Mansfield Road.
We should put little tattoos on them, right?
Smart.
They starve,
Y'all gonna start something.
Okay, anybody else?
Smart was he saying when they see the truck.
Dr. Efferson and Ms. Powers, we appreciate y'all coming here today for y'all's presentation, and it's always nice for y'all to come in and give us an update. So thank y'all for all your hard work and continue to do so. Thank you.
Well, thank y'all for the support. We really, really appreciate it.
You're so very welcome. Mr. Hopkins, next
We
item.
have no special resolutions. We move to communication committee reports.
I got a report.
Commissioner Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Everybody look on their desks. I passed out a flyer concerning a initiative that me and others have been working on for the last 3 or 4 months through the Juvenile Justice Committee. As I went to Chicago to the Smart Justice Program regarding how we look at reforming the criminal justice system in America. 650,000 inmates are released back into society every year, based on a report from the Bureau of Criminal Justice. 650,000 inmates released back into the community. Re-entry back into what? We don't need to subsidize them by providing food, clothing, shelter in the jail. They need to be able to go to work, provide for their family, so they can pay child support and provide food, clothing, shelter for their own family. But they can't do it if they got some in their past upset in their future when they done paid their debt to society. Everybody needs a second chance in life. We all make mistakes, even when we're young. We all got folks in our families. We got sons, daughters, aunties, and uncles that have some type of misdemeanor misdemeanor crime on their record, and they cannot even get a job. And when they can't get a job, guess what they do? They either go in and out back into prison, or they prey on me and you. Because everybody got to eat somewhere. So what we need to do is put people in the pathway to be successful. Put them in a pathway for prosperity for a second chance. This is what this does. Also, there will be a job fair. Because while we got them there, let's have a job fair too. But I asked them to do one thing. If the government and the private sector do something to help you, you got to stop smoking that weed and dope. Because you will be tested when you go on a job.
That's true.
You can't blame the government. You can't blame the white man. You can't blame society. It's your fault. And we put you in a position to be successful. Stop playing the blame game and accept personal responsibility. So we're saying to you, we want to give you a hand up, but stop asking for a handout. When we get you straight, provide an opportune atmosphere for you to be successful. You can't do illegal stuff like smoke weed and then go apply for a job. Or even come to the event, dope on you and your pants sagging. Come appropriate like you're getting ready to go to work. So I'm excited about all the partners, the African American Chamber of Commerce, the Attorney General's Office. We even wrote Cory Booker and we wrote Ron Paul, the bipartisan support of the act called the REDEEM Act, which stands for Record Expungement Designed to Enhance Employment. So people can start paying taxes. Well, we got to warehouse them over here. They can't bond out for a $500 bond, wasting taxpayers' money, and we house them. It costs us more to house those kind of people. Right, John? So let's look at it, because it may be your child tomorrow, and it's some of our children today. So we need to be a forgiving society and not always trying to keep our foot on people's neck because they made a mistake. So on September the 22nd, at the Northwest Technical College, we have an initiative, first ever summit in this city, in this community. There was a House Bill passed 55 that's allow you to go in the clerk of court office and fill out the form. Maybe costs $500 some. We're not trying to put the attorneys out of business. But we need to give back something to help people get up on their feet, where they can be productive tax-paying citizens. Stop taking away from government. If Bureau report said if 10 cities got together, they'll save $460 million. 10 cities got together and changed their criminal justice system, $460 million. It costs us that much to how one it made over there in Caddo Parish right now, almost 80, 40 some thousand. I don't know. But the numbers are astronomically high. With 5% of the world population, but 25% of the world incarceration. We lock people up in America for some of the craziest, dumb crimes they ever thought of. Because a man smoke weed don't make him a criminal. He need rehab. He don't need to be in a jail. So we got a lot of work to do in this country. So on a national level, they doing it. The House had enough sense to do something. Go do something on a local level. And we want the parish to be involved, the juvenile justice system to be involved, Judge Emmanuel, the legal aids involved, the clerical court is involved. It's a collaboration of city, parish, all of us working together for the common good of the common people that are trying to make it today. So I ask that you go out and tell the human resource people, staff, we want a job fair where people come there and get a job that day that's clean and play by the rules. We want people to go to work that day. We want to make it meaningful, not just for show and theatrical. We want to do something to really empower and impact people. All right? So I've asked that, whoever I asked to help, I'm taking this very serious to me because we helping everyday common people. Even professional people got stuff on their record. They license. They can't get a promotion because guess what? They got stuff on their record. And we need to help them.
Commissioner Bowman, you have a question for Commissioner Williams?
I just wanted to, did we invite Bentley Steel?
We have the staff is working with us. I asked Valerie, and we have Ms. Posey, the deputy director at Votech, is working on that part. We have a logistics committee. We're meeting on the 28th here at 1 o'clock. That might right, Michelle? We meet here?
I don't know.
Okay, but I think the 28th at 1 o'clock we're meeting here. So we had a meeting with the clerk of court, the DA, the attorney general's office, the DA, city marshal, everybody's involved. And Judge Crittenden will be speaking about the summit. And we also asked Senator Vitter's office to intervene, hopefully get John Paul Booker here.
That's good.
The parish administration already sent out a letter to these people to come and make an impact. And I hope we could change some people's lives today. That's all. It's not only a moral issue, a civic issue, or a elected official issue, but it's our duly elected position to promote the health and welfare, to improve the quality of life of people. And it's also public safety. You know, so it's economic development and it's public safety. And it's putting people back to work with their family so they can help pay some of these taxes. All right? Appreciate everybody's support if they can come. Secondly, let's pray for the Brown family in Ferguson, Missouri. As I see it, whether you agree with me or not, there was model day execution of shooting a young black boy. He has his hand up, say, I'm unarmed, don't shoot.
16.
It can happen to your kids right in Shreveport because you're not immune. It's a national epidemic. So hopefully we can pray for that situation where it don't happen here in Shreveport. So let's be in prayer for that family. Let's be in prayer for that city and that state and the elected officials up there. Hope they come out peacefully with the right verdict on this situation. So hopefully we all will be in prayer with them, okay? Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Lynch?
Mike was doing good. I think he called you out last week. The other week. But anyway, let me just say how, as they say in church, God, how proud I am of Commissioner Williams putting together this expungement summit. It's something that's really just been in the works in some form or another for a few years now. But it took his tenacity and vision to actually bring it to this point. You know, of course, everyone knows this. I'm really proud of our involvement with NACO and the resources that they're able to bring to bear on the things that we're looking to do in our community. Our involvement on the Justice and Public Safety Committee, and having one of, I guess, this region, because Dorothy Brown is from Minden, Louisiana, Webster Parish, to have a model program for the entire nation. She has a brother that lives in Caddo Parish, as a matter of fact. So just being able to pull all of those resources together and to get everybody at the table is no small task. So I commend you, Commissioner Williams. I commend you for doing a great job in getting this together.
Me and Mike Thibodeau, we did it together.
So I just
Of course.
So I just posted it on my Facebook page. So we'll get the word out and get these in the libraries, whatever we need to do.
We have a press conference near the thing. Come on, I want you to be involved. Say
Need to Facebook it thing.
it's called Caddo Bowls a Second Chance. It's on Facebook. Got 440 hits already.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Okay, Commissioner Cox.
Well, the question that I had, Mr. Williams finally got to it in his speech, so I commend him on that. I don't see Mr. Thibodeau's name down here on this piece of paper.
We got to expunged his record first.
Okay, all right.
Well, only those with a record are on.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Right? You do have a sense of humor.
I too will tell you that I'm very proud of the commissioners that are seeing this through, and to actually talk to these young people, or ladies and gentlemen, or adults, or whoever that comes up here, and explain to them that this is an opportunity for them to start over.
That's right.
But there is a question mark. They need to start over.
That's right.
They have to take this opportunity and make it work for them.
That's right.
Don't go back and say, well, hey, I ain't got a record now. I can start over. No. We need to help every young man, young woman who wants to work.
That's
Now, is it the job they want? No. But it's a job. We have jobs coming in. We have jobs available here in Shreveport and Caddo Parish. So whenever I hear a young man saying there ain't no jobs, I tell him, get on the internet.
That's right.
Because people don't put jobs in the paper anymore, in the wanted section. If you ever look at the Sunday paper, it used to be 3 pages long. Now it's only about a half a sheet or a quarter of a sheet. Everything is on the internet now. So I would suggest people learn the internet. Helpwanted.com in Shreveport. That's the way to get out there and find something.
That's right.
But I commend Mr. Williams. He has talked about this a long time. I would just like to say thank you for your efforts, and I will try to make it there that day. And if we can, explain to the young people who are out there who are just coming and say, hey, I'm going to wipe my slate clean.
No.
There's more to it than
That's
that.
right. You're right. Be on the ready.
Once again, I appreciate your efforts in this, and this is one thing that you worked on that really shines.
Two things.
Two things. Swag and this. And I appreciate your help.
I don't want to get beat up by the police. I'm telling the teacher.
I'll be there with you.
Legal etiquette.
I'll be there with you.
Thank you.
Okay, hang on. Commissioner Escaday?
Well, in addition to the obvious, there's some people out there of all ages with minor offenses that should be expunged from their record so that they don't have that hanging over them. I think this could be beneficial to another segment as well that we don't talk about. And I'm not here to appreciate the police and law enforcement, everything they do. There's such a thing as bogus arrests. Yeah. And everybody here knows somebody who has been arrested where the charges were dropped because it shouldn't have happened in the first place. Felonies and misdemeanors. And it carries on their record the same thing. And they've got to explain it away everywhere or every time they go somewhere. Now, and to me, that's really unfair. I understand if you were convicted and you've got the arrest record and although it's minor and it needs to go away, you need to be given a second chance. But this will serve people who never shouldn't need a second chance to begin with because they didn't do anything wrong. That's right. You got stopped, whether it was through ignorance or incompetence or just revenge or vendetta or whatever, and you got charged with something that you shouldn't have been in the first place. That's right. So this is a big benefit, especially to those people. So I just wanted to bring that up, and I'm sure everybody knows someone that's happened to. I've heard of 80-something-year-old ladies getting written up for drug possession because they have their little pills in the little Monday through Friday box, and they don't have the prescription bottle. And legally, you've got to have it in the prescription bottle. Well, I doubt an 80-year-old lady's taking whatever it is people take just to take it. But so there's a common sense factor. Sometimes it's missing and people get arrested. They shouldn't have been arrested in the first place because it goes nowhere. And that'll help these people, and they deserve help too. They deserve an apology, which they'll never get. Thank you.
Commissioner Baker?
Hi, I just had one question. So,
Yes, ma'am.
because I have a lot of people, quite a bit of people in my district, not just in my district, just people in general asking me to help them to find a job. And then I get them contacted with someone, then they'll go, well, let me just tell you this, I do have this on my record. So that means this program, this day, they can come and get that off of their record.
No, this will be the day you have pro bono attorney, you have judges to be able to tell you about the new program, the new law, House Bill 55, that the House legislature just passed. And they don't even know how to work the law. They don't even know how to work the new law. So it's an education fact finding for all of us.
It's a new statute that was just passed to hopefully provide a mechanism to make it a little bit easier for a person to get.
So it won't it won't clear their record?
No, it depends. I mean, if you go through the expungement process, if you're eligible, because from what I know of it,
they're not going to do it for armed robbery, for example.
They're not going to do it for domestic violence cases, or cases involving sexual issues or violent crimes and things like that. But if you had a misdemeanor or even a felony, and if you've been clean for 10 years, then there's possibility that you can get it expunged. So it really could help a lot of people, but there are exceptions. Obviously, they're not going to let someone have it.
That's the attorney. There you go.
Okay.
Legal man.
That's what I
But the problem is it's a new law and it's very lengthy, and I think that Commissioner Williams is right. A lot of people don't know all the ins and outs of it. I've had 2 calls in the last month on this issue alone, so I've got to beef up on it and learn a little bit about it.
We're going to invite Craig Smith, who's an expert attorney on the expungement, to maybe do a continuing education with pro bono law. You can do pro bono work and get continuing education.
If they do that, I'll try my best to be there. I need any CLE hours I can get.
So it would be beneficial if they still come just to see if it's something that can be done.
That's right. I would think so.
Well, just a point of order. The legal aid, the Bar Association, and the African American black lawyers are involved. Some of the judges say they're going to take off to come. That's going to be a host of judges from Parish and Caddo. I'm inviting the Attorney General, hope he can come speak. So there's because of the newness of it, the ambiance is that a lot of people, even the attorneys, don't even know how the new law works in the whole state. So everybody's on the job training about this initiative. So we're glad we took the lead. Matter of fact, we're the only parish in the state that has it on the website at the clerk of court office. So Deputy Mike Spencer have already put it on the website to fill out the form. So it makes it more user friendly when you live in a digital world and computer world. So people can read and write. It's not going to take the attorneys totally out of the business, but it's going to help those that can read and competent enough to fill out the form. So I'm excited about where we go and what we learn as we go. We'll debrief ourselves so we can make it better. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner. I see no other communicating committee reports, so Mr. Hopkins, we can move on to the next item.
President's report.
Oh, Jim, you have something? I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jim.
We had a natural resource committee today, and we had a good update from Ken Ward, and really good attendance from other people, private operators, even former city operators. So the interest in water is still there, and we still know we have issues and we still have to solve, but at least we know we have good plans towards solving them. But I appreciate everybody that came, and the interest is still there, and we still have a job to do, but we'll get it done.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner Smith. And Mr. Hopkins, move on to the next one. I've already given the president report, so you can move past it.
Next we move to adopt the minutes of the regular meeting held on August 7th.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Lynn. Please vote. I can't tell who.
Mr. Smith.
That's not showing. Normally it shows who's voted on it. All right, so that passes 11-0. Next item.
Public hearing on ordinances. Ordinance number 5408 of 2014, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for the Economic Development Fund, year 2014 to provide an appropriation for $50,000 for NLEP.
Okay, declare this public hearing open at this time. Does anybody wish to speak in favor of this ordinance? Is there anybody who wishes to speak against? If so, you need to come to the mic. I see no one coming forward. I declare this public hearing closed. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Next item under public hearing, ordinance number 5409, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus and authorize the parish administrator designate to sell tax interest.
Declare the public hearing open. Does anybody wish to speak in favor of this ordinance? Does anybody wish to speak against? No one coming forward. I declare this public hearing closed. Next item.
5410 of 2014, authorizing request to the Louisiana Secretary of State to merge precincts 130 and 135.
Declare this public hearing. Does anybody wish to speak in favor of this ordinance? Anybody wish to speak against? Declare this public hearing closed. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5411, 2014, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus and authorize the parish administrator designate to sell tax interest.
Declare this public hearing open. Does anybody wish to speak in favor of this ordinance? Does anybody wish to speak against this ordinance? Declare this public hearing closed. Next item.
Ordinance number 5412, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for riverboat and oil and gas funds for 2014 to provide an appropriation for $10,000 for the James Burton Foundation.
Does anybody declare the public hearing open? Does anybody wish to speak in favor of this ordinance? Does anybody wish to speak against this ordinance? Declare the public hearing closed. Move to the next item.
Next, we move to ordinances for final passage. Ordinance number 5408 of 2014.
So moved.
Second.
Have a motion by Commissioner Williams, seconded by Commissioner Escaday to adopt ordinance number 5408. Have some discussion by Commissioner Lynch.
I just have a quick question. Is this a second appropriation or is this an initial appropriation?
Commissioner Escaday, you want to address this issue if you can?
They came and met us at the Economic Development meeting a couple of months ago. This is an additional appropriation for this year only, and as was presented, due to the extraordinary amount of funds that they've expended this year working on projects specifically to Caddo Parish. We've been real busy showing properties here, the GM facility being one on the big event that didn't take place. And they spent a lot of money doing it. And they gave a presentation to the Economic Development Committee. Even though they cover 13 parishes, they spend probably better than half their time in Caddo, specifically on Caddo. So they just said they needed some help. So then the committee took all that into consideration and approved it and moved it to the body.
Also, I would just like to add, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Williams?
I'd like to add that I also...
Okay, Commissioner Lynch, that's right.
Okay, so this was just basically kind of a one-time request. Are they planning on increasing their budget?
No, ma'am.
Request for next year?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay, thank you.
Commissioner Williams, you got anything?
Mr. Martin, I have asked him to also take part in the expungement initiative. He's also said he see where this could be an economic development opportunity. He has came on board to assist in providing Louisiana Economic Development Department to host a lot of vendors to be there to provide jobs for a lot of the people that are in our urban districts. So I think he plays a major role in providing economic opportunity for the architect.
Okay.
So he's going to play a key role in providing those vendors to come in and set up and provide jobs for the citizens in our district.
Okay, please vote. Sorry. Passes 11-0. Next item.
Ordinance number 5409 of 2014, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Baker. Please vote. All right, that passes 11-0. Next item.
Ordinance number 5410 of 2014, authoring request to the Louisiana Secretary of State to merge precincts 130 and 135.
Move to approve. Moved by Commissioner Johnson, seconded by Commissioner Matthew Lynn. Please vote.
I can't say his whole name.
Passes 11-0. Next item.
Ordinance number 5411, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus and authorize the parish administrator designate to sell tax interest.
Move to approve. Moved by Commissioner Lynn, seconded by Commissioner Baker. Please vote. 11-0 passes. Next item, Mr. Clerk.
Ordinance number 5412 of 2014, amending the budget investment revenues and expenditures for riverboat and oil and gas funds to provide appropriation of $10,000 for the James Burton Foundation.
Move to approve.
Moved by Commissioner Cox, seconded by Commissioner Bowman. Please vote. Passes 11-0. Next item.
There are no ordinances for introduction. Work session minutes, ratify the work minutes for August.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, seconded by Commissioner Lynn to adopt the work session minutes of August 18th. Please vote. Next item.
Next we move to
11-0.
resolutions.
Okay.
Resolution number 43 of 2014, adopting the municipalities' continuing disclosure cooperative initiatives of the Securities and Exchange Commission.
So moved.
Moved by Commissioner Williams.
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Johnson. Please vote.
Is it the one we were provided that we're voting on today, the hard copy?
Thank you for clarification.
Oh, just something else.
No, that's, hard copy is the next one we'll come to.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner, for clarification on that.
Okay, everybody vote. 11-0 passes. Next item.
Next we go to resolution number 32 of 2014, authorizing the organization of the Northwest Louisiana Council of Governments as a Louisiana nonprofit corporation.
So moved.
This is the one that was added on by Commissioner Lynch's committee. Have a motion by Commissioner Lynch, second by Commissioner Lynn. See no one's discussion?
No question.
Have a question by Commissioner Escaday?
Are we approving the one that is before us right now? 2 pages, hard copy. It's the only one we've given today.
That's correct, isn't it?
Yes.
As amended,
Yes.
As amended, though.
yes.
Yes.
So
It has
it's
the
not right.
underlined part on the second
It's amended.
page has the amendment.
It's amended. Okay, just wanted to clarify. Thank you.
Okay, please vote.
Yeah, we're good.
Bless you.
Appreciate it.
Passes 11-0. Next item.
There's no old business, move to new business. Confirm appointment to the Metropolitan Planning Commission to replace Mr. Larry Ferdinand.
Move to appoint Lavette Fuller.
I move that we.
Hang on one second. Hang on. Hold. Commissioner Johnson, you're on the board.
I move that we postpone the vote
Second.
until the next regular session.
Have a motion by Commissioner Johnson, second by Commissioner Williams to move to postpone these appointments until our next meeting. Is that correct?
Next
Yes.
regular session.
Do you wish to speak? Yeah, Commissioner, I know you're jumping into it. Commissioner Johnson, you made a motion. Do you wish to speak on this motion?
Well, as a courtesy of one of our commissioners that basically has put out a lot of emails early on about one of the candidates that are nominees that we're talking about appointing, with him not being here to basically say something about her in her stead. I would ask that we give him the courtesy since he did have one that was a nominee.
Commissioner Williams?
I too would like to echo what the distinguished commissioner from District 2 has just said, in the sake of fairness, and he's not here to make his case why his candidate should be appointed. It's not going to stop the process from appointing your candidate, but for one of our colleagues not to be here to give his side of his version on why his candidate nominee should be placed as the Metropolitan Planning Commission board member, I say would be unfair, and that's not something we do up here. So it's not going to deny it, it's just going to delay it. We're not trying to deny it, we're just trying to delay it. So hopefully we will.
Commissioner Bowman?
Okay. In point of information, he's also ill. Am I?
I'm sorry?
Commissioner Everson is not.
No.
Okay. Okay.
We're doing it today.
All
That
right.
it?
That's it.
Commissioner Lynch?
I was trying to find, it seems like I got an email right before the meeting from Ms. Harris.
Well, that's who I
That she
was.
had an accident and wouldn't be here today, but that's, what I wanted to say was, I'm not really sure, we've talked about this over the years, about our process for doing these appointments. Every now and then we hit a hiccup on them some type of way. Not ones that were particular to our district, like I think our last meeting we had a lot of fire districts or something like that. that's specific to someone's district, and we pretty much just take whoever they recommend and just approve it. We've talked about, I know when Carl was here, it was real big on, we needed to have people to come down instead of just, you know, having a name on the agenda, which we did sometimes. It was a hit or miss. We didn't have a policy in place to say that this is what we want to happen every time. So when this particular situation came up, in that it's a kind of a global appointment, not district specific, where you may have more than one candidate that is interested, or commissioners have more than one person that may be interested, I really don't, am concerned that, you know, that somehow, sometimes we can get pitted against each other, or that the people have to actually come here and be subjected, so to speak, to, you know, this or that. I don't think it's fair to the candidates, and I know that we can handle it in a manner that may be, you know, that we handle some other things, either, you know, through committee or through some type of process. We may not be able to put something in place that this one, but I'm hoping that before the end of the year that maybe we can just start to discuss it a little bit more clearer and see how we want to handle these going forward. So that when, you know, when we get to the floor, it's, you know, it's civil and it's not some of the things that's happened in terms of this appointment and even the last person that we appointed to MPC. You know, there were a lot of things said in the meeting and on the floor that I'm not sure we should subject the public and our citizens to. So that's just my concern about it. I don't have a problem with postponing it today out of Commissioner Epperson's request, but my concern is more just about the process of how we're doing these going forward. Thank you.
Commissioner Thibodeau?
Yeah, I believe we need a better process also, but in the case of these two nominees, both of them have turned in resumes, both of them have spoken. I personally don't need someone to tell me their side of it when I had the candidates here. I can read, and I heard both candidates speak, and so I don't see any problem with us dealing with this today. And I think that Mr. Lynn had a motion on the floor before you recognized anyone else.
Amended his motion.
I can amend it.
I didn't hear his motion. He had to, he pressed, so I gave him his motion first. If he wishes to make a secondary motion, he can in just a second, because he's up next.
Yeah, okay. I'd like to make a secondary motion to choose Lavette Fuller for the position of the MPC board.
Second.
And I don't feel I need to speak on it. I think that she has represented herself in a manner through this process and the process that she went through in 2013 that shows her as a person who is completely capable of representing all of Caddo Parish, every single district, and represent what we hope Caddo Parish to be today. That's all.
So we have a motion to go ahead and accept Lavette Fuller.
Yes. And a second by Commissioner Eskew.
And seconded by Commissioner Eskew.
I want to make a motion.
Okay.
Joseph Harris.
Out of order.
And I guess since I still have the floor, I guess I'd still like to keep talking at this point now,
Yeah.
since I'll see all these names
I don't hear that hammer going down.
Okay.
I'll let it go. And so, I mean, ultimately, we've been through this enough, and I think we have a great candidate. That's all. Thank you.
I think this needs to go on and vote today. I think our minds have made up. Like Mr. Thibodeau said, we've read everything. We've heard from all the candidates who have wanted this job. I think postponing it for 2 weeks is not needed. just to have them come down and what we do today, it would be great. So I just say let's go ahead and move this on, vote for it today, and that way it's done with. We don't have to wait. Thank you.
Commissioner Williams?
I beg to differ on, because we're talking about one of our very own colleagues. We're not talking about the candidates. Out of due respect, it's not necessarily trying to change the way you're going to vote, because your mind is made up. I'm not trying to deny your vote on your candidate. I'm just trying to delay it for one of our very own colleagues to come and just make his case why his candidate should be the nominee. That would be unfair to us, because there may be something, you may be out of town or something, you have some on the floor. That's not unusual. We have somebody who has some on the floor, that has some on the agenda that's not here. We done it many times before. That's been one of our practices. Why we go not change the practice now for this particular situation here? I think it's unfair. That's gonna come a time, you go remember this, because you go have some on the agenda, you go ask one of your colleagues, please ask the commission to delay this because I can't make it. We're not trying to change the way you vote, our process. We're just trying to protect the integrity of what we do here for one of our very own colleagues. So I would be wise in what we do here today, because we set the precedent. Because it's going to come up before again, and I'm gonna help you remember what you did too. All right, thank you.
Here we go. Now y'all stop at D3.
Commissioner Lynch?
Call for the question.
Thank you.
Amen.
Question, Jay Todd?
Is that you?
I'm gonna vote the way I want to vote.
I didn't mean it to be.
We ain't gonna be here long anyway.
Okay, that passes
I mean it.
10-1. The question's been called. I have one question for our legal. If she fails, could she be reconsidered at the next meeting?
Yes, what you do is, with these motions right now, you have the substitute motion is for her. If that does not pass, you have the motion to postpone.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have two motions.
Yes.
We have a motion for Harris, a motion for
No, we don't.
Fuller.
No, we don't.
She did it. I thought you did it.
Made out of turn, out of line. It wasn't a legal motion.
Oh.
So we have a motion to accept,
You know what you
to do Lafette Fuller.
Yes, that's the motion. The first motion to be decided.
Second motion.
You just have to vote in the affirmative. You don't have to, if you're not, you don't have to vote.
Okay.
All right,
So
the motion is from Lafette.
vote no.
Is everybody voting?
Mr. President, would you go over the vote again?
All right, the motion is to select Lafette Fuller as our nominee.
Okay, that's fine.
Please vote. All right, that passes 8-3.
Wow.
Next one.
I am appalled.
All right.
Okay, y'all remember what y'all did today.
It's on tape.
For adjourned.
It'll all fall on me.
Fall on your good leg.